The John LeBang Show has been known to make people laugh, sing, think, scream, throw things in rage, and generally lose their minds. Listener discretion is advised.
Worldwide and out to the greater universe, you're listening to the John LeBang Show.
Greetings, Earthlings, and alert the media. This week's second hour of the John LeBang Show is now on the air, bringing you more sonic vibrations than any other show that money can buy, because we're free to listen to anyways. So how can you beat that? How can you beat a free hour of entertainment on the radio? You just can't. And that's why radio is still around, by the way. It's not one of those mediums like cassettes or 8 tracks or even now CDs. Those are all blasé. That media is, we don't need that anymore. But the radio is still around, and it adapts to everything. Just like the banger, he adapts to all sorts of environmental issues. And we're going through a lot of climate change in the state of Michigan. Just a week ago, we were about 20 degrees below our temperature. For about a week, we were cold. But we're seeing that the studies that are coming out lately are suggesting that we're in a cooling period again. Isn't that funny? Just when they think climate change and global warming is a big problem, it looks like we're headed towards some kind of cooling period. Interesting enough. But we spoke about that long ago, that the sun itself is going through one of its cooler cycles, or it's entering that. So we're going to start seeing a little cooler weather. At least it's more likely that we're going to see cooler weather, because the sun has probably more to do with any kind of temperature fluctuations on the planet than anything that mankind could produce. I mean, if the sun was to go dead, we'd be in much bigger trouble. We'd have to pollute the atmosphere like crazy to keep us warm, wouldn't we? If that actually keeps us warm, but there'd be no greenhouse effect because there'd be no sun. We'd be pretty much toast. And from what I'm understanding, the sun isn't going to get so hot to cook us. We're kind of in that nice little zone there. So I think it's better off that we have a warm sun and that it keeps us warm. But hey, we're heading towards a cooling period, so they say. So what are we going to talk about this hour? There's a few things to discuss, most of which I'm not really interested in. I mean, you get semi-interested when you see a news article saying Trump irked at the cabinet and staff and he's mulls sweeping shakeup. And maybe that's his mindset. He thought, let's try to do it this way in the beginning, and it didn't work out. He left too many people in place. He brought too many people in from sources that, maybe weren't on board with his agenda, and now he might be realizing, and maybe it came, the light bulb went off in his head, and that's what prompted him to fire Comey Dog over there. He made his first appearance after being fired. Big deal, right? Hopefully we don't ever have to deal with the guy again. But now the big story is that Trump may be mulling over the fact that he needs to clean his staff. I mean, start over again from scratch. I mean, it's been hard enough to put together everything already, and now he's thinking of starting over, a reboot 3 months in. Only 3 months in. I mean, if you're going to reboot, that's, I guess, the time. You don't wait till you've blown it for 2 years and then go, maybe we need to change because, you know what? We're coming up on an election. I can't see him winning a second term. And in fact, doesn't matter who the Democrats put up. Probably somebody not worth a crap. Donald Trump will probably be better than whatever the Democrats offer the American people. This time around, next presidential election, I'm either sitting out or I'm going to vote third party, no doubt about it. Because unless Donald Trump can find some way to impress me, and maybe these sweeping changes that are going to be running through his cabinet and running through every level of the government, maybe he really is going to drain the swamp. If he can prove to me, and I'm already off the boat, I've taken the dinghy out and I've just started rowing away from the boat because, you know, it wasn't going exactly how most of us expected. I didn't expect much, really. I thought maybe 20-25% of the agenda. Now we see that the Obamacare replacement package that went up to the Senate is being, you know, shifted around. We may actually have to pay those taxes. Isn't that nice? Actually have to pay those taxes, which means the mandate's probably going to be there. So why even replace it? Why even do anything with it? It's funny how they had a better package in place when they presented it to President Obama for him to veto right out than they have now. The package, the current package, and the package that's going to be changed up by the stupid Senate. See, we need to change the rules back on the Senate for me to go on to another tangent. It used to be here in the United States that the state would pick the senators. The people would elect the representatives for their state, and those representatives would delegate they'd vote 2 people in as senators, and they would be the representation in the government for the state. See, the House of Representative person that goes up there to Washington, the person from the House of Representatives that is elected by the people, he is supposed to represent the people. The senators are supposed to represent the state. 2 different things. A lot of people don't understand the separation there. The people are the common man, you and I. The state is the nation. And that's right, the state is a nation. That's why they say the state of Israel. It's a nation. The state of Michigan is a nation unto itself. And it's under the umbrella, the protection of the United States. It's the same with the European Union. France used to be their own country. They're their own state. They're a country. They're a nation. Then they got onto this, for lack of better terms, this corporation. All these states got together for whatever they decided was the reason to do it. And they formed a corporation of nation states. And in fact, in 1872, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the United States became a corporation. I'll have to check my facts on that. Maybe during the next break I'll double check that. My history's pretty good. But during that time period, the United States, being broke, decided to become a corporation. And that's when it turned from these United States to the United States. See, these United States, words mean something, folks. And the word these means there was a whole bunch of, in this case, nations that got together to become one united umbrella. Still separate from each other, but they were united in protecting each other. That's basically the idea behind the United States. A bunch of states get together and protect themselves. The United States, united. They don't force things on people. They just protect each other from others. And the European Union, which is a bunch of nations, got together and did the same thing. Now, some would argue that they did it better. Some would argue that they did it worse. Depends on your point of view. If you like socialism. See, the European Union is far more socialist than the United States was intended to be. In fact, the United States was intended to be a country of freedom, individual sovereignty. We don't have that anymore. In fact, we're far closer to the European Union than we are the concept of the United States. But that's a whole other subject. How we got onto here with the Trump maybe changing out his cabinet, which I think may be a good idea, because I haven't been impressed with the things that have been coming out of the administration. In fact, as you have heard on this show, I've expressed my disgust with the lack of following through on the agenda that was promised to the people who voted for Donald Trump. And I believe there's a lot of people expressing that dislike in where the Trump White House is headed. It's far more globalist than we expected, or that was advertised. That's probably a better way to put it. Because I even expressed doubts during the election. I just knew Hillary was the worst choice. And I'm worried the Democrats haven't learned. Maybe they're going to throw out a younger face out there. Maybe they're going to project a more centrist approach. But what I can tell from the Democrat Party is the majority of their most popular people are far left socialist, if not communists. And there's a huge segment of the United States population that's not going to stand for that, especially rural America. Even though they do live off a lot of these rural areas, they do live off the socialism. It's an interesting dichotomy, the socialism that is now infested into the halls of our government and out to the people. Because even people who rail against socialism, they rail against only certain types of socialism, and they are actually, which they don't even, I don't think, realize, they don't even realize that they're promoting a softer form of socialism. Because anytime a government can tax you and then distribute the money through some sort of program that can go to anybody, maybe it's going to you, like Social Security, it's sitting there waiting for you, or maybe it's like a welfare program, or maybe it's a this program or that program, whatever it is, that's a form of socialism. And I love those socialists who get upset at all the corporatists out there. You can't have socialism without corporatism. They need each other. It's a symbiotic relationship, at least for the socialists. See, the corporatists, they could probably get along without socialism. Maybe not, because sometimes I think that the people would rise up against them because the corporatists tend to not want to pay a fair wage to people, and they get sick of it. And what the people then turn to is socialism, most of the time. They don't do the independent route where they start their own business. Normally, that's a very small segment of the population that will do that. Most people will turn to some kind of socialism, working for a corporation, or like joining a union or something, or going on some kind of government program. It's an interesting concept, a thing that most people don't even understand. They themselves are promoting socialism, because when they are promoting a social program, no matter what it might be, that's exactly what they're promoting, socialism. All right, folks, we'll take our first break of this hour. More on the flip side. Stay tuned. Don't think about touching that dial.
That would be a mistake.
The John LeBang Show will be right back after this. That's guaranteed, man. Like some good tie stick. Check out the new book from Derek Shelmerdine,
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
It tells the story of rock and roll from its roots right up until the mid-'70s punk.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
Not just the music, but also the events that shaped the music.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
It includes the backgrounds to recording sessions, singles, album releases, births and deaths, epic concerts, and festivals.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
Shelmerdine has made a painstaking effort to document pretty much every event that would prove significant in shaping popular music.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
Purchase the book at www.rockandrollunraveled.com. Follow him at Twitter at R&R Unraveled, and look him up on Facebook at Rock and Roll Unraveled.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
By author Derek Shelmerdine.
Available now.
If you are elderly, disabled, receiving SSI or Medicaid, and you have a medical need or require assistance with daily housework, shopping, grooming, medication, you may qualify for housekeeping at no cost. Call now. VIP Home Healthcare, 248-579-3805. VIP Home Healthcare, there when you need them. That's 248-579-3805.
You're listening to the John LeBang Show.
It's hydroponic radio for your brain, man. Feel smarter yet? All right, folks, welcome back. Guess Mr. Kim Ding Dong out there at North Korea fired off another test there, somewhere towards Japan. There's a big worry about it. Where's that fleet I thought we sent out there? Couldn't they shoot that down if they shot it out that way? But he's becoming a problem, and I'm trying to think of some kind of a solution without actually technically going in there and leveling the whole country. Because I don't want to get the United States into another war, but I don't control anything, right? But there's got to be a different option than dealing with launching a whole bunch of missile strikes or bombing the living crap out of a country just to get at one stupid idiot. And, you know, they track us. They know almost everything about everybody. The technology is so good with these satellites. It's so awesome. Why can't they just track this guy and just, rods have got him to death? Just some kind of kinetic weapon. There'd be no trace of anything. The guy's gone. And then let's hope for the best. We'd probably take out some of his senior staff, and there you go. If he's becoming such a problem. But I don't want to get the United States into some kind of massive world war again. And that's where we're headed. I mean, we're already in conflicts in like 6 or 7 countries right now. We're actually performing. Yeah, I don't know if you knew this. We're performing some sort of military action where bombs or bullets or something is going off in like 6 or 7 countries right now. On top of any other operations that we may not know about. Because there are clandestine operations going on all the time. I suggested in the first hour that maybe this massive cyber attack, which seemed to affect Russia the worst, was a attempt by, let's say, a U.S.-based organization, U.S.-based intelligence organization, an attack by them, an attempt to access something, to damage them, to do something, maybe to even extort money out of people. You never know. Espionage and cyber warfare, that happens on all sides. It's not like the United States is innocent. We don't do anything. That's a bunch of crap. The United States has the largest intelligence apparatus in the history of the world. And it never gets smaller. They can spy on anyone at any time through almost any medium that's available. If they can't tune into your cell phone while you're in a store, you don't think they can turn into a cell phone that's near you? That would be easy. They're so far technically advanced. And I'm speaking the government and all the agencies. They're not working on 1975 equipment, stuff from the late 90s. They're not working with that stuff. Not the agencies, not the ones surveilling everybody. They're using the most advanced, technologically equipped gadgets that are out there. If they had a cloaking device that they could put on some kind of agent and have them sit in a room with you and you could not see them, they would do it. So I don't understand what the big deal is with dealing with this Kim Jong-un. What a name. It fascinates me. On a side note, it fascinates me. Names, right? And why certain cultures use certain names, how they use the names, what they sound like. It's interesting. And Kim Jong-un, basically his first name is his last name in that culture. Because Kim Jong, that was his dad, Kim Jong-il. So their last name comes first, and the first name comes last, at least through the concept of Western naming. Do they have a middle name? Is Kim Jong? Kim is the last name and Jong's the middle name? I don't know. Again, I'm not an expert in how cultures name each other. But it's fascinating. You go out to Africa and you get names like Kalunda. And that's a big, strong, tough name in Africa. Here it sounds like some kind of drink that some woman would drink, like something at a coffee bar that had a little alcohol in it. And you have a glass of Kalunda. I think Kasabubu. I remember hearing that name before, Kasabubu. That's a strong name in Africa. Sounds like my mom had to kiss a my boo-boo when I was hurt. So it's interesting how some cultures name their children and what they actually mean, because I have no idea what Kasabubu means, but it's a strong name in Africa. T'Challa from the Black Panther series, if you're familiar with the Marvel series Black Panther. T'Challa, that's the name of the character, or his real name. Very strong name in Africa, of course. I get John. I always liked all the other versions of John, because John in English, most people relate with the toilet. But you got Ian and you have Juan. All kinds of cool names for John. But I get John. Jean. You get in French, it's Jean. It sounds so sexy, doesn't it? Jean. I get the bathroom. John. That's it. Four letters means toilet. One in every building. Anyways, I don't know how I got onto all that with Kim Jong-un and all that, and him acting up, and how we should take him out. Because I don't want to go to war, and even taking him out is an act of war. But he isn't going away. Either we continually deal with him, which, we maybe want to just ignore him and just build a defense so he cannot do whatever he wants to do against us. Just build up a massive anti-North Korean missile that never hits anything on target anyways defense system. See, I'm starting to worry. I'm starting to think, what's the big deal? This guy can't fire a missile to hit anything. His aim is terrible. Either that or his equipment is bad. So it's like the kid down the street that can't throw a snowball at you and he's threatening you. Go ahead, throw. You can't hit the side of a barn. I just throw the snowball back. Here, that's how you do it, and you hit him. After you hit him 3 or 4 times in the head, the guy's going to quit throwing snowballs because he can't hit you. And even if he could, you're probably fast enough to get out the way or block it. Yet we keep having to deal with this maniac. Ugh. Just ridiculous. How do you deal with these people? How do you get rid of them? You have to get rid of them or you don't have to get rid of them. If you don't get rid of them, you ignore them. You make it so he can't hurt you, and then you just ignore him. Because then if nobody's listening to this guy, if nobody's listening to him bellyache, if everybody's ignoring him, he's not going to keep crying. Who's going to listen to him? And if he fires off one of his rockets and actually hits somebody, let that country wipe him off the face of the earth. Because unless he attacks like the Philippines or Nigeria, most of the other countries on the planet will kill him, wipe him out. He's not going to attack Russia. He's not going to attack China. If he wants to hit South Korea, yeah, we got a pact with them. Be stupid. Guess he's an idiot, We understand that. But to deal with this guy constantly, it's like, get over it, man. We know you're a whiny, crying little baby. Either we take him out or we ignore him. But what we've been doing since he's been there and since his dad was there, because his dad was no different. In fact, I don't know who's worse. The kid wants to prove something. So maybe, prove that he can be wiped off the face of the earth. Why don't we use rods of God on him? Let's test that out. They wouldn't even know it hit him. Because that kinetic weapon would just disintegrate as soon as it hit the building. How'd that happen? I don't know. It's just amazing that we have to continually deal with this moron. And we're playing footsies. Either way, we're playing footsies. Huh? Okay. Just ignore him or deal with him. None of this in-between stuff. We're up against one of those breaks, folks, halfway through this second hour. Hope you're enjoying the evening. Please check out our sponsors.
Don't go anywhere. The John LeBang Show will be right back.
You'd be crazy to change the dial now. CRRM, CarePoint Billing Services. Their billers and managers are all dedicated to working for you to increase your profits. For more information, call CRRM at 248-579-3805. CRRM, CarePoint Billing Services. And allow me to do a little bit of self-promoting. If you like what you're hearing on the John LeBang Show, you're enjoying your time with us, then feel free to go to our website and find out more information at www.jlebang.com. There's archives of the show, interviews, all kinds of little tidbits, snippets from the prior broadcast, news, so much there that it would take you weeks to get through it all. Now, if you want to contact the John LeBang Show for whatever reason, feel free to send us an email at jlebang@live.com. You can follow us on Twitter at John LeBang. Look us up at Facebook at The John LeBang Show and like that page because we like it when you like that page. This half hour is brought to you by Pane and the Glass Window Cleaning for a beautiful sparkling shine that's crystal clear. called Pane in the Glass Commercial and Residential Window Cleaning. You can find them on Facebook at Pane and the Glass.
Hey, man, it's at the bottom of the hour, man. Do you know where your kids are, man?
Forces of darkness, the treasonable minds who collaborate must, can, and will be wiped from the face of the earth.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're enjoying this evening's broadcasting. We're going to switch gears a little bit because we've been talking about the fake news and what certain outlets are fake news and what is real news, and it's hard to discern the difference between the two sometimes because the whole modern world can be manipulated because everything runs through computers. And with that in mind, they have just discovered plants in China. Get this, ladies and gentlemen. There are click farms in China with thousands and thousands and thousands of phones clicking away and giving likes to our most beloved favorite apps out there and businesses and web pages. So all you have to do is go to a company like this one out in China, pay them some money, and they will perform whatever task that you need them. So if you need your page to get 20,000 likes, well, you go to this company and you'll pay them some money, and bada boom, bada bing, you got 20,000 likes just like that, and you're looking like your company is kicking butt. And you're looking like, oh my goodness, what an awesome, this company is viral. People are catching on big time. And come to find out that they're manipulating. It's all fake. It's all fake. All your favorite app, all your favorite corporations that have to buy their likes, they go to places like this and fake it. If you've got the money, you can look huge. You can look big. You can make it look like the whole world likes you. You can be popular if you've got the money. And on social media, it's even better. You can fake being popular. You don't even have to be popular. There's probably places, as we're probably going to find out, that you pay people to go make comments on posts. Go share your stuff. In fact, I know that's a fact because I was looking for a social media person myself to do that very thing, to share my information. I would pay them to share it. It's pretty expensive, actually. You can't just get away with, and that's the thing. It's you're sharing one thing. So it's just like share and boom, you're here. It might take 5 or 6 or 7 minutes of a person's day to promote one single item on the internet. Maybe a little longer. Maybe it takes 15 minutes. These people want, $200 a month, $300 a month. And you're thinking, you're only sharing my stuff, 7 times, maybe 8 times a month? I mean, are you kidding me? That's just crazy. But you can go to these farms here in Japan. I'm sorry, in China. I don't want to offend the Japanese. Have them get all mad at me, right? Send Godzilla over here to kill me. We don't want Godzilla messing around with me. I have enough trouble. But the Chinese, that's cool over there. And companies will go do it. And they get fake likes. And they look popular. And no wonder the people who are not as financially well off as some of these other more popular sites out there, more popular Facebook pages, more popular YouTube channels, because that's where those likes really come in handy, when you get those thumbs up on that YouTube channel and your videos start moving right up the charts when you start getting a lot of thumbs up. Same with the posts on Facebook. Oh, people are noticing you. Thousands of, so, and the thing is, we're also noticing, kind of dovetailing onto something else here, we're also noticing all the fake accounts on Facebook. I mean, people are already pretty fake on Facebook, but now we're getting a barrage of friend requests. Maybe because we're a public figure. I'm not sure. I'm not that public. But regardless, we're getting fake people. So we have to check out everybody who's friend requesting the John LeBang Show. John, me. I'm checking out everybody. And then when you find out that there's 2 pictures, there's no posts, that's a fake one. And you see all these people on Facebook because they want 12 million friends, because they like faking that they're popular. They accept everybody, even the fake ones. Might as well get the fake likes too. It's an incredible thing. But this is the world we live in. Nothing is real anymore. Everything is fake. The news is fake. The social media is fake. People are fake. And it's very hard to figure out what is truth today. Years ago, you could read a bunch of books, and they can't alter books. They can't do it. Once it's printed, it's that way. But now in the modern world, the modern media, where everything is digitized, they can erase, change, modify. Hell, the Associated Press, I'll post links from them, and 3, 4, 5, 6 days later, they're gone. That doesn't exist, like it never happened. The Associated Press never reported it. I'm beginning to screenshot these things just so I have proof that they're reporting certain news items, and then they delete them. You can't find them anymore. I don't know what they do with them. If they put them in some kind of archive, it should be the same link, you think, but I guess not. It would make sense to have a link that lasted forever and it didn't change. So that way, if in 2 years I wanted to go to your news story, I could find it with ease by clicking the link that I had originally. But I don't know if they delete that stuff, if it's temporary. I don't know what's up with the Associated Press. Then you get some sites that'll have a news article up on their front page and you get to read the whole thing. And then a day later, you only can read part of it. So when you go back to share it to everybody, when you go to talk about it on the show, there's only a little part of it, and to get further, you have to pay. So they tease you. One day you can read the whole article, and then you got to pay to read it again. And I know we got to make money out here. We've got to find a way to generate income so that we can continue on with these shows. So we can, like some of the companies out there, they need to generate income so that they can go pay these click farms to go click all their social media to make them look popular. So that way they can get more money to send out to these click farms to make more money. And it's all fake. Everything fake. You've got an actor pretty much at the presidency. How do we know that's not all fake? Politicians are ugly actors. The whole thing's faked. It's like nothing is real in this modern age. I was just seeing that they have a tattoo that you could get that would have sound effect on your arm. You know, you could play your phone and have augmented reality, and your phone would play the song even though it was a tattoo of a waveform. So you can have a short little voice there. Maybe of your dog barking or something. And people think that, well, that's cool technology. You got to have a tattoo on your arm. The tattoo doesn't do it. Then you got to have a phone that'll play your tattoo. And how often are you going to play that all the time? I guess you might. Those people that like to tattoo their body, they're going to have waveforms all over their body, run out of place, they're going to have to tattoo their schmeckle with a waveform. Maybe they'll have their favorite girlfriend they can throw down there. Oh, baby. Just waveform that on your schmeckle. But some people are going to think that's cool. So, to each his own. I just think we're getting into fake world here. That's all anybody wants to be is fake world. You see the women out there that put on so much makeup, they shave their eyebrows off, they paint new ones on, they wear lipstick, they change their hair color. They're not real. They're not real. Everybody wants to live in virtual world. Remember the Pokemon craze, the Pokemon Go craze? Everybody running around chasing virtual Pokemons. People almost getting hit by cars, running into things, falling over, tripping because they're watching their phone instead of real life. The whole world is fake. The manufactured news is fake. Yet they want to trick everybody into believing it's real. It's real. This is how it is. We've got 4 million likes and they're all fake, but it's real. We're so popular. Unbelievable. I don't know how we ever got diverted into this. How we got distracted away from reality, and now we want to live in virtual world. Remember, now we got those things that you put over your head and you play games, and you're in virtual world, and you're jumping around because it feels like it's real world. And great, it's fun. I understand it's fun, but there's a lot of fun in real world too. You don't need to go to virtual world. Maybe it's a little safer in virtual world, but are you really experiencing it? You're virtually experiencing it, not truly experiencing it. Sure, maybe you can fight Darth Vader, and you can never do that in real life. But do you really want to anyways? I mean, I think Darth would slice you up. It's a ridiculous world we're living in. Practically everything is manufactured. It's altered from the real truth, from the real state of it. You walk down the street and you think it's a girl, it's a guy dressed up as a girl. And they're so confused they actually call themselves a woman. And if you do that, that's your life, right? But we got to get away from this fake. At least I think we have to get away from it. The rest of the world is fine with the fake world. The fake reality. The Matrix. It is I'm waiting for Neo to pop up one day. Neo and Smith and have the big battle. I hope I get to see that. I hope I get to be a spectator in that. Because then I can go, okay, it was all fake the whole time. It was all the Matrix. I get it now. Because there are some days where I got to question it. I'm questioning reality like, how is it that the world is this way? Who thought this was a good idea? I'm off on a tangent. They took me off the radio last week because of that. But folks, as we're winding down the broadcast hour, this week's amazing John LeBang Show. Just want to thank everybody continually for putting up with me and coming each and every week. Again, the show has been growing, and as we have just a few more seconds before we go to the next break, I want to just express thank you to everybody for taking the time to give me that hour or two every week and showing up and participating, send me the emails, commenting on all the Facebook posts and everything. Hopefully those are real. I mean, I think those are real. I don't have the money to purchase anything fake. Real money to buy fake stuff. That concept alone is a strange concept. If you're going to buy something, you think you would actually want the real thing. You know, when I purchase something, I want to have it in my hand. I don't want some virtual version of it. So, got to take a break, folks. Last segment this week coming your way.
Don't go anywhere. The John LeBang Show will be right back.
You'd be crazy to change the dial now.
Powerful, epic music by Toothbox Row. Life-changing lyrics come in every style, empowering humanity to finally unlock the chains of bondage. Experience the edgy side of positive music and rock your world today. From Primal to Divine, available now at sassyalternativemusic.com.
If you want to contact the John LeBang Show, feel free to send an email to jlebang@live.com. And if you're on Twitter, look him up at John LeBang. And don't forget to go to his Facebook page at The John LeBang Show. Banger. Now here's John.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Found this interesting. Chinese to test lunar palace as it eyes moon mission. Apparently, the Chinese are going to have some of their students live in a laboratory that simulates a lunar-like environment for up to 200 days as Beijing and China prepares its long-term goals to put humans on the moon. These 4 pro-graduate students from the capital's Astronautic Research University entered the 160 square meter cabin dubbed the Yangdong 1. Gotta love the Chinese with their words. They always sound like they're talking about the schmeckles. Yangdong, Longdong Dosi, Yangdong, Yang. Most girls like to have a Yangdong, not the old dong. The old dong's not as good as the young dong. The Yangdong, or Lunar Palace, has these volunteers that will live in a sealed lab to simulate long-term self-contained space missions with no input from the outside world. So they're going to be these 4 guys, or these 4 students. I don't know if they're all male or female. They do not make that clear. Human waste will be treated with a biofermentation process, and experimental crops and vegetables will be grown to help the food and with the food and waste byproducts. So they're going to mix in the old poop somehow and make it like a manure type product, healthy for the vegetables to grow. Basically a mini circle of life type deal there. The cabin represents the world's most advanced closed-loop life support technology so far. China does not expect to land its first astronauts on the moon for at least another decade, but the project seeks to help the Chinese prepare lunar explorations for long stays on the lunar surface. So they're wanting to build these little communities on the moon, little space base. We spoke about it actually a few weeks ago. And the Chinese seem to be the front runners in getting us to the moon as far as a base on the moon. Oh, and here we go. I found out. Look at this. If you read far enough into the story, you will find out. 2 men and 2 women entered the lab on Wednesday for the initial stay of 60 days. So knowing the Chinese, they're testing out sex in those environments as well. And they picked 2 men and 2 women to get it on every once in a while to find out how sex in space might actually be in some kind of contained environment. Sex in space. That sounds like some kind of pornographic movie, doesn't it? Sex in space! Captain's log. Stardate 076969. On a routine mission to your anus. Captain, shall I send a probe? Good idea. Captain, I'm picking something up on sensors. What is it? The Lunar Palace has 2 giant cultivation modules and a living cabin. 42 square meters containing 4 bed cubicles. Be getting it on those cubicles. A common room, a bathroom, and a waste treatment room, and a room for raising animals. So they're going to have little piglets up there, maybe a hamster, maybe a monkey. Who knows what they're going to bring with them. The Lunar Palace will be the world's 3rd bio-generated life support system and the first developed by the Chinese. It is the only such facility to involve animals and microorganisms, as well as plants and humans. Its chief designer, Louis Hung. Louis is Hung. See, I told you, the Chinese names are awesome. They name everything after the guy Schmeckles. Hung, Louis Hung, Wang Dong Siva. The Chinese are pouring billions into the military-run space program and working to catch up with the United States and Europe with hopes to have a crew outpost by 2022. And that's about all we did decades ago, the United States. Apparently, that's what they told us. They sent us images. They told us they went out to the moon way back in the day. Way back in the day. Either I wasn't born or I was a little tiny little lad. But they went out there. And now we don't go back out there ever again. There's nothing to find there? I don't know. It's not an objective floating around our planet in space. In some kind of international space station is the pinnacle of our space exploration at this point. We're just testing it. Apparently they don't want to go back to the moon. The Chinese want to go. Maybe Donald Trump, who has a renewed interest in NASA, maybe he'll want to go. And now we go to a new segment here on the John LeBang Show. This Week in History with Wilbert Hillbillie.
Thanks, John. In 1804, the Lewis and Clark expedition to explore the Louisiana Territory as well as the Pacific Northwest leaves camp near present-day Hartford, Illinois. In 1904, the first Summer Olympic Games in the United States in St. Louis, Missouri, hosted by the third Olympiad of the modern era and the first Olympic Games in America. In 1940, World War II, the Battle of Netherlands ends. In 1948, the State of Israel was proclaimed. The sovereign state became the first Jewish state to come into existence in the last 2,000 years. In 1955, the Warsaw Pact was formed. Representatives from 8 communist bloc countries, including the Soviet Union, signed the Warsaw Pact in Poland. In 1973, the United States launches Skylab. Skylab 1 remained in orbit for 6 years before burning up during re-entry in 1979. And finally, in 1998, Frank Sinatra died, hailed as one of the greatest singers in American pop history and known for his songs such as My Way and Fly Me to the Moon. Frank Sinatra dies of a heart attack. That's This Week in History. Now back to John.
Thank you, Wilbert. Are you ready for me yet? Yeah, come on in, Shady. Now, wait a minute. What's the Hillbillie doing here?
I was trying out a new segment, see what people think about it.
What, you trying to replace me? No, I thought we'd just try something different on the show. You think the Hillbillie's got something good to talk about? Weren't you listening? Well, I was in the toilet, and I can't concentrate when it's too loud, so I turned it off. Oh, he's got a new segment called This Week in History. You think people really want to know what happened in history?
Well, why not, Shady?
People don't care what happened in their own family history. You think they care about other people's history?
I guess you got a point there.
Now move out of my chair, because that's where I sit.
Well, all right.
Now will you leave the room, please, so we can continue?
What if I want to listen?
You can listen in the toilet.
All right, then. I'll see you later. Bye.
Are you that desperate you got to have the Hillbillie do a segment? I don't know. He brought it up to me, and I thought it would be interesting. And how well does that normally work out? What do you mean? You thinking. So, do you have a cool or uncool for us tonight? We got to go through this again. Give me the intro, and I'll tell you what the cool or uncool is. This hour's cool or uncool is. You know, John, Do that thing that with the echo. That sounded good. You mean like the one I did last hour? Yeah, just like that one. But I thought you said they had a high pitch. No, not that one. The one after that one. Oh, the one where I doubled my voice. Yeah, whatever that was. It was better than the one you were doing now. This hour's cool or uncool is. See, that was better. Well, are you going to tell us? Tell you what the cool or uncool is. Oh, I thought you were testing it. Come on, people are waiting. We're running out of time. Well, I forgot now. What do you mean you forgot? I don't know. You got me all confused with all these new segments and all. I didn't poop so well earlier. You know, I'm not thinking straight right now. Well, we got to have something. All right, let me think something up here. Let me think. No, we don't want to talk about that. How about fake boobies? Where did you get that from? Well, you were talking about fake boobies earlier. No, I was talking about fake news. No, I heard you talking about women that had fake eyebrows and fake boobies. Yeah, but that wasn't the overarching point. Well, you know people, they only hear about the sexy parts. They don't care about points. As long as there's sex involved, they'll listen. Are you saying people won't listen to what I have to say if it's not about sex? Let me tell you, John, how's your ratings when you talk about all that sex? Well, it's usually pretty good. Well then, how's your ratings when you talk about boring stuff? Could you explain what boring stuff is? I don't know. Your life? Well, sometimes I get pretty good response. You see what you said? Sometimes. So we're going with it then. That's right, we're going with fake boobies. Our first call comes from Ottawa, Canada. Gordy, fake boobs. Cool or uncool?
I like to see him bounce around, all over the place, Bouncing up and down all down the sidewalk when a girl's running,
Okay, thanks for your call. That's one for the cool. I'll bet you $10 it's unanimously cool. That's all I got left is $10. We'll see. We're betting then. Do you have $10? No, just put it on my credit, Joan. Out next, we're going out to Parts Unknown. Ditzy, what say you?
Hi, John. My boobies are beautiful, John. I love my new boobs.
Well, I haven't seen them yet.
And you're not gonna see me, dirty old man.
Listen, I'll be one till I'm a dead old man, too.
Get control of your show, John. Bye.
Thanks for your call. Yes, she just had that big old boobie surgery. Have you seen him yet? No, the only one who's seen him is Abu. Well, and the doctor. Does he really count? He got to be feeling all up on him. Got to make him the perfect size and everything. John, there's more people waiting to talk. Let them on. Up next, we're going out to Montreal, Canada. Fake boobs. Cool or uncool?
I want to sing.
Okay, thanks for your call. Well, you lost, Shady. He's old. He don't know what he's talking about. He's used to those big old saggy things that hang down to your ankles. That's pretty gross, Shady. You may be right, but it's the truth. Up next, we're going out to Sanctuary City. You're on the John LeBang Show.
Hello, John. I've got a song for you.
John,
1,
please
2,
don't let this
3,
guy
4.
sing.
Oh, fake.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Fake.
Ladies, plug your
Fake
children's
the
ears right
boobies.
now.
I love fake boobies.
All right. Thanks for your call. Well, John, I think that's about it for me tonight. That ruined everything. I have to go back to the bathroom again. You know, Shady, maybe you need to see the doctor about that. No, I just got to stop listening to that guy sing and I'll be fine. I'll see you later, John. Goodbye. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen, for yet another week of sonic vibrations known as
The John LeBang Show.
I want to thank all my affiliate stations across the globe. Don't forget to go to my newly and still under construction, but it is being renovated website. That's www.jlebang.com. You'll be able to catch snippets of this show, the prior show, the shows before that. You can also have access to all the archives of every single broadcast of the John LeBang Show. You'll have ways of winning prizes where you can enter, of course, to win those prizes. Radio schedule, everything is on there so you can be fully in tune to what's going on here with the John LeBang Show. Thank you, everybody, for giving me your time. I really appreciate it. I do not know how to express it to you, how much it means to me that you join me each and every week here for 1 or both hours. Maybe you're just stopping in for 10 minutes. It doesn't matter because you are coming. And until the vibrations of my vocal cords reach your ears again, this is John LeBang signing off from the Banger Studios.
We have liftoff. again next week. Same time, same space, same station.
Resistance is futile.